Hi, welcome back to another hour with Crowder. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. And if you're already a subscriber, go ahead and ding the bell so that you can get all of our latest podcast interviews every Tuesday. We got Rik Rok and You Don't Stop in the building. We got the devil advocate himself, Melik Anthony. We got E on the board. We got HR Heather. And we got me, Crowder. So, what has been on the radar this week, you guys? I mean, I got a couple of things, but, you know, what has been happening in y'all lives for this week?
Working.
Like good stuff. Nothing crazy. Everybody work. Everybody in this room work.
Just, I'm talking about in a creative manner. Doing some writing, planning to do some filming probably next week and a half.
You got any shout outs? Got any news about that?
I'm still in the beginning stages. Just trying to stay focused so I can finish that and make something that I'm proud of.
I feel that. I can't wait till that drops. What about you, Rik Rok? You got anything?
Just working a lot.
Working a lot. As y'all know, I got some new glasses.
I see.
Yeah.
We need the sound effects, the clapping.
Yeah, we do have it somewhere on that shit.
You. No.
Damn, he laughed my glasses up out of here. He think these hoes trash. He laughed.
There we go. Looking quite spiffy there.
No, let's go ahead and get off in here. Everybody got some more shit that they got to do today. Right off the back, Virginia Tech football player, linebacker, kills a 40-year-old transgender or gay man. Last week, a Virginia Tech linebacker by the name of, I'm going to butcher his name, A.H.W.C.
Don't tell me he's black.
He is black. Killed the man by the name of Jerry Smith. They are saying that Jerry was a transgender, but the family says that they didn't know he was transgender. He had a sexual encounter with Jerry the first time and didn't notice that he was a man until the second encounter. And Ishmael, I don't want to butcher his name. But
too late.
He repeatedly punched Jerry in the face, and when Jerry fell, he stomped on his head, breaking every bone in his face. And he is facing second-degree murder and is due for trial in September. How do we feel about this, guys? One of the questions that I did want to ask is, should transgenders reveal their original gender while dating?
Absolutely. I have no tolerance for situations like that. I'm all for people of the LGBTQ community. Be you and be free. Just because you are able to come out and so forth, you may have that support system and so forth. The person that you're dealing with may not be on that same ride. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times that's what happens. Now, I don't know if in this situation where it was a situation where, hey, I'm gay, we gonna rock like this, or I'm a tell, and that happened. Or was it a situation where the guy genuinely didn't know that he was dealing with another man? I disagree with trying to take away a person's choice. Like, period. To me, it's no different than rape, to be honest with you. Like, if I'm dating you and I'm under the assumption that you're a woman and you tell me down the line, we could have done kiss, you done gave me head or some shit, and you're like, oh, hey, yeah. Another thing, everything's been going great. I have a penis, okay? I'm trying to get rid of it, but I just thought that you should know while, I've been having you thinking that I was born a female.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, like, you should have killed them, but I can understand in those situations. In the heat of the moment, somebody done lied to you. Now you thinking about all this shit like, oh, wow. I mean, he got what he deserves. Shit, don't lie.
What's your thoughts? I know you over there roaming in your head about this situation.
I don't agree with that. He got what he deserved, which was being beaten to death. I do believe that you do need to tell someone the truth. And in most cases, when you're meeting someone and, you're like, well, I like somebody who's upfront. I want somebody to tell the truth. That is your moment to say, and I get it where, I was watching, actually, ironically, the documentary on Teddy Pendergrass, where when he had his accident, okay, for you young people, Teddy Pendergrass was an amazing singer.
I just know T-Pain was like, Teddy Pendergrass down. And that was like never mind. I'm young.
Yeah.
He said it in one of his songs, Teddy Pendergrass.
That was his moniker back
So
then.
I'm going to turn to the adult. Teddy Pendergrass was when he had his accident that paralyzed him, he was in the vehicle with a transgender woman. There are rumors that, he was going home to have sex with her, reached down, put his hands between her legs, and he lost control of his vehicle and was thereby paralyzed. Excuse me. So, to say that someone deserves to die, no. But would I have been enraged? Yes. Because when I date someone, I'm giving you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and I deserve the same in return. I appreciate who you identify as. I got you. But let me make that decision. If I decide that I want to continue to rock with you, when you take someone's decision away from them, then yes, the consequences could be deadly.
I have a lot of questions about this, and we were talking about this earlier, about how the family didn't know that he was a transgender.
Now that I don't understand.
Yeah, that's something, because, like, everybody kind of knows if you're transitioning or not. Mm-hmm. You either start dressing more and more like a girl rather than just for the drag show, or you start to take hormones, which changes you dramatically within, like a month or two. You either start getting facial hair if, you're a transitioning woman or transitioning male, or you start to get more slimming attributes in your face if you're if you're a woman. This shit's so confusing. If you're a man transitioning to a woman, and I just don't understand how the family didn't know. And it just kind of, this whole situation kind of sounds like a catfish gone wrong. It kind of sounds like he knew that this was who indeed he was, because he went over the first time. And even if you got head, like, you didn't know, like, you ain't slapping that ass, you ain't grabbing on the back of that ass while you getting head, or, like, you ain't grabbing them titties, or, like, what? Like, do guys really just be like this with the head shit?
No. Amaya or Amia Scott, I don't know how to pronounce Amaya or Amia Scott. Amia Scott looks like she was born a woman. Like, she is fine as shit.
Yeah, but when you see the picture of this dude, he has a 5 o'clock fucking shadow.
Oh, okay. So if it's not some Amia Scott,
we have to keep in mind, like, when you talk about media will pick and choose what photos to put up. So that may not necessarily be how he looks when he's dead up. Now, if that's how he looked 24/7, yeah, bro, I don't know what to tell you. You knew. Now, or if he had another picture where he's like, okay, I guess that's passable for a female. I can see if it's midnight and ain't no lights on. I can understand.
Yeah.
But like I said,
and then it was rumored. Well, I don't even want to cite this source, but Sandra Rose, part of the gay crime news, she did a story on this too. And in the Tinder profile, then the woman that he was impersonating, because it wasn't the same photo when he got there, it says in the Tinder profile, come blindfolded. Now, I don't really understand. I don't really think that that's true, because who's coming to a complete stranger's house with a blindfold? But we are talking about fucking Tinder, where a bunch of freak geek niggas be on there doing nasty shit.
Oh, wait a minute. Tinder?
No.
I thought that was for a relationship. Wait,
yeah,
hold on,
no, that shit for hooking up. So it's like, is it too far-fetched?
That right now.
I don't know. My thing is, just to answer my own question, yes, I definitely think it should be disclosed right off the jump. Like, if you got to put in your fucking profile, do that. I think that a lot of these transgender people, they don't want to, they fear rejection, because kind of deep down inside, I think some of them do feel like, at the end of the day, I just got this $20,000 surgery on my boobs and maybe this $10,000 surgery on the bottom. And at the end of the day, I'm still not really completely a woman or man. Biologically, I'm not. It's still something missing, So I think that they don't want to face rejection, and so they lie and they get into these relationships, and sooner or later it's gonna come out. Sooner or later you gotta meet moms, and you're gonna see some baby pictures, and none of them are you except for this little boy with the basketball or whatever. I don't know.
That's where I feel in the delusion starts to come into play, because I don't understand how you can have the mindset of, this is who I am. I'm proud of who I am, of my transition, whether it's man to woman, woman to man. And I'm going to date somebody, but I don't want to tell them who I really am at heart. Like, how do you want somebody to love you for you?
Be honest with you.
If you can't even be honest with me.
Yeah.
Like, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah. And another thing is just like, I think they should, because it protects them. Like we was talking about this earlier too, that paper trail is so important in cases like this, where you have a paper trail telling them, yes, I'm a transgender woman. Do you still want to fuck with me? Usually, most of the time, a man that's not looking to harm you is going to back up off you. You're probably not going to get another fucking text from him as soon as
You
say
gonna
I'm
get
a
blocked in some more shit.
Exactly, because they don't want the problem. They don't want you screenshotting shit. They don't want you telling nobody that you was even talking to them. So most of the time, it is going to be a straight up block. Deuces. Might not even get the peace sign emoji to them or whatever, but yeah, they should do it for their safety, for shit like this, because someone literally can go insane. What is that shit called? Cognitive dissonances? I
think it's something like you were saying.
Yeah, something like that.
That's not
But it's
really
kind of
the
like,
issue.
but it's kind of like when you finally tell a kid that Santa Claus isn't real, and then they're like, "What? What? It's not real? You've been telling me this whole time, and it's been you, motherfucker, getting these presents." And I think that that's something that can happen in a man's mind when he's a cisgender man and he wants a cisgender woman.
A what?
Cisgender.
What does that mean?
That means you the original woman, baby.
A
You're the original man.
cisgender. Okay.
Yeah, that means you original. Well, according to the trans community, that means that you are a man and you identify as a man, as your gender and all of that. So I got to kind of get some of that terminology in here, because when you start saying original or biological, then, the community starts saying, oh, well, they are a real woman, but, you kind of know you're not. Okay. You kind of know you're not,
Like,
bro.
sometimes I be wanting to say,
you're not.
But what does the doctor say? Like, miss me with all that shit.
And that's the funny thing, is that now scientists are saying that it's a difference between gender and sex. They're saying that
it's crazy, because to me,
a social construct. No, you have a penis in between your legs.
Yeah,
you're a man.
If the doctor say bend over and cough, like, you're a man. Like, you can miss me, you can have the titties and all your shit. Well, if you still have to check for prostate cancer or any of those diseases that only males get, I can respect the fact that you may have breasts or you want to be identified as a woman. Matter of fact, there was this, I forgot the gentleman's name, but he became famous over, I think, something Patterson. And he became famous because he felt like I shouldn't have to change my nouns and verbs to make you happy. Like, if you're a man and you are making a transition to a woman, why should I be forced to call you by the name that you want to go by, as opposed to what you really are?
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, he makes, I read his book. It's called Make Your Damn Bed. It's a good book.
Make Your Damn Bed?
Yeah, Make Your Damn Bed. It's about basically controlling the outside of your life if you can't control the inside. So basically, like, keeping up with your chores and shit, because it plays something on your psyche. Like, when your mind is fucked up and you don't have a way out, then, usually your outside reflects the inside of you. But it's a good-ass book. I think everybody should read that hoe.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like that would fuck with a man's psyche, to know that I've been fucking around with what I thought was a woman and finds out she thinks she's a woman, but I'm talking about a biological woman, that didn't pay to get her titties or her ass or her coochie done. I don't know. And that's not no shade, because everybody already thinks that I'm like transphobic, but I'm not. I'm real about life. I'm logical. I mean, everybody loves science until the science is reversed on them and shit. So yeah, I'm not delusional. But yeah, we shouldn't have to change our pronouns to accommodate somebody. Just my thing from the jump has always been, and I had one of my good friends that is trans on here, and I'm just like, fuck with people that fuck with you and leave the ones that don't. But making this rule about everybody having to respect your pronouns and shit. If somebody call me a nigga, then I ain't gonna fuck with them no more. I'm just not gonna fuck with them. I'm gonna go fuck with the people that call me by my name.
But I don't know. Even to me, it's like, oh well, I'm not a he or she. I'm a they and them. What? Like, oh, okay. Like, sometimes I feel like in those situations, like it's going a little bit too far. Like,
it's like a control.
Yeah, it's like. What your mama call you, goddamn it? Like.
And it's funny that you say that because are you familiar with Angela Staden King?
The name sounds familiar.
She was actually let out by Trump from a pardon. He pardoned her out of federal prison, and she ran for a couple things. I think in California, she lost. I think, but she was on the Jason Lee TV show, and her son is like going to be transgender, and they was having a fight about that, you know, like.
Oh, and she went off.
Yeah, she went off.
Yeah, I know you talking about. Yeah,
I love her. I think she's the truth. I think they really needed her for California, low key, or wherever she's from.
Because if I recall that, I mean, I think there's a difference between not folding between like your beliefs. Okay, look, if you're a man or you're a woman, you can identify with what you want, but I'm calling it like how I see it. And in her situation, I mean, I think that us as minorities need to
just say it. Just say it.
We got gay kids. Like, and I feel like, matter of fact, I'm in this group and it's so sad where we have like little memes and stuff, and it'll be, would you prefer if your child was gay or a gangbanger? Do you know how many motherfuckers was on there saying, if my son was gay, I'd kill him? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I feel like in that situation with her, like she was kind of downing the fact, almost to the point disowning her son that he was gay. Like, it ain't nothing you can do about that, baby, because at the end of the day, that's still your son. You still have to love him. I understand you may not want him dressing up as a female coming into your house as born. Okay, cool, but you still shouldn't talk down or make your child feel inferior just because they don't make the same decisions that you make.
Well, her standpoint was more on the lines of, I agree, like, I don't agree with what you're doing, and I love you, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna call you what I know you are.
The black lady?
Yeah,
they were on Dr. Phil.
Who? Angela Staden King
and her
son.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that, but yeah, she went on the Breakfast Club.
She was going off, and the younger daughter was talking about the fact that she just her parenting, like she doesn't listen to anyone. It is either her way or the highway. His younger sister was trying to support him, but their issues are so deeply rooted to the point of she's still so very bitter about, you know, her ex-husband's baby daddy. She's taking it out on, and my heart just went out to the younger sibling, because she's so gorgeous and so intelligent, and you could just tell she's just so trapped by her mother's bitterness. And then, of course, the son, or as he wants to identify as a young woman. I was trying to understand her point. I as a mother, I can understand the pain, because as mothers, we feel pain. I love my children. If they did come home and say, "Mom, I'm lesbians," that would kind of punch me in the chest, but I wouldn't disown them. I'd be like, okay, well, no more slumber parties. But it'd be the same way as a mom, where, okay, yeah, that little boy is not coming over, because it's not an issue of them being lesbians. It's okay, well, now you're not having sex in my house.
Yeah.
So, but what bothered me about her was that she's just so damn bitter, and she's taking it out on her children, and calling it right, if you will.
And the sad thing is, just like when we were touching on last week, I feel like in these situations that these traumas are something that her son and her daughter is going to grow up with, taking to their relationships. Like it's a never-ending cycle with you women. Jesus Christ.
With us women.
Huh?
Fuck
Oh, I'm
outta
sorry.
here.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Yeah,
Huh,
but
sorry.
that is something that have happened. Rest in peace to that man's family or that woman, man. I don't fucking know.
Rest in peace to that to the person.
Jerry Smith. Rest in peace to Jerry Smith and condolences to the family. Let's go into some more LBGT news. According to they're trying to ban the word mother from Mother's Day.
Let me explain something to you.
Hold on. Let me just read the excerpt because this is it says according to the Irish Post. So I don't know where this is. I'm guessing Irish, I guess. According to the Irish Post, a pro-trans charity wants employees to stop the usage of the word mother and replace it with parents who given birth because the term is more inclusive. So where we at with this?
I mean, one, I just think it's stupid. Two, so why we don't do Father's Day as well?
Oh, they've tried to.
Yeah, they've tried to.
But like I've never heard that.
Yeah, they've tried to. There was someone who released a statement saying that she is essentially the father in the relationship, and she does not feel that there should be a Father's Day, and that it is an infringement upon the rights of lesbian women who play the fatherly role in a relationship.
Oh my God, this is fucking ridiculous.
Not a fan of my ex-husband, but what I will never take from him is the fact that he is the father of our two beautiful children. He deserves that just as much as I deserve it after 16 hours of labor, stretch marks, a torn vagina after delivery, and 2 epidurals. I deserve that shit. And with both of my children, I threw up for 120 days straight. So what you're not going to take from me is being a mom. That's not going to happen.
My whole thing is just I feel like at this point, it's a narrative. It's a false narrative being ran, and they're using the LGBT community as this the shield because they know that you can't say anything wrong about LBGT or you're transphobic or you're homophobic or you're queerphobic or whatever. They use our community a lot to push these agendas out, I feel. But I know that there is someone out there that is agreeing with this fucking post. So I just want to tell the trans pro charity and the people that's running along with them that ain't nobody in the LGBT community trying to take Mother's Day away. Ain't nobody said that in the community. I've never heard that being said. I think this is a false narrative. And if you are trying to run that narrative, the thing that I have to say is that, okay, you're a man, you're transitioning into what you feel is a woman. Why wouldn't you want this day to stay up? Ain't that what you're trying to be? A woman? Okay, why are you trying to get rid of it? It goes right along with what you were saying. Why are you not proud of what you are? It's Pride Month. Y'all are in LBGT. Just be cheerful and prideful that you are trans. There's nothing wrong with it. I do think that we need to include them, but we don't have to scrap the whole system to include you. Why don't it just be some transgender Mother Day cards or some transgender Father Day cards for them? Why we have to scrap down the whole system to include you?
I don't know. It seems that's the sad part. When we were discussing Republicans, I believe last week, is that I don't believe, like you said, within your community, there are a lot of people that feel like, oh, we should just go ahead and scrap Mother's Day and shit. But you have the wrong people up front, and they say these things, and and they run with it. Like, I don't have a lot of gay friends and shit like that, but I'm pretty sure if I asked them, hey, would you want to get rid of Mother's Day? Pretty sure about 9 out of 10 would be like, no.
Exactly.
But we have these bullshit stories that's running that makes it seem like the majority of LGBTQ is for,
All of this
getting rid of
bullshit.
Mother's Day. It's like we have a problem with how our information is going out, or us as a people. And I'm speaking right now mainly with minorities. We don't go out to see different sources. Because, like, even for myself, I like to pay attention to CNN, Fox, Raw, AP News. I like to look at each stories and see, okay, well, who's leaving out information, who's just lying altogether. Like, I feel like you have to in this day and age, because it's so easy for you to get misinformation.
Yeah. That's why, honestly, I just want, first of all, I want to see who is ahead of these, committees, just like the BLM. The person that was at the top of that at first was a man, a straight man. Mm-hmm. And then something happened with the schooling situation that they wanted to pass for school or was fighting for. And then he was like, fuck that, I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. And then before you know it, now it's just these 3 lesbian women. And then and then they stepped down. Why? $90 million. Where did that come from? Why did it not get distributed through like all of the grassroots, things of BLM? And I think, like you just said, these people come to the forefront and they spew all these little ideas and agendas, and then we just going behind them. That's why I had to get the fuck up out of these little groups, like, BLM, and Trump supporter group and LBGT. Now let me do my own research and I'll figure out if I want to accept this or not. That's why everybody think I'm transphobic. No, it just don't make sense, and they pumping y'all head up, and they low-key using y'all as the Trojan horse to usher in pedophilia, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm not going down that with y'all.
I say
they got real quiet. I'm not going down that.
I mean, it felt like you were gearing up to.
It was, but I'm like, man, I'm gonna keep it cool, because like we've already done 2 LBGT and it look like we bashing, but now it's just logic. It's information.
We're not bashing. I love gay women. You're amazing.
Gay women, just gay women.
Not
gay men
not
those guys.
Men, transgenders, y'all cool, but specifically, I love gay women.
Man, they did not love you back. They looking for another bitch themselves.
Nah, catch them on the blue moon.
Yeah, I do think it do be a lot of dick dykes out here. There's way more pregnant women.
Wait a minute.
Pregnant studs out here.
What is a dick dyke?
A dick dyke is a dyke or a stud that goes and get dick on the low. She acts all manly and all this.
She's clearly an abomination, right? No.
in the gay community, she is. Why you gotta be dick dyke and just be bi? Just be bi.
Okay.
They still gotta fuck you. You still fuck a girl if she dressed in boy clothes, right?
Yeah, you still got a pussy.
See? Boom. There you go. At the end of the day, LBGT community, just be yourself.
Yeah, be happy. Be free. Just be honest about who you are.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's you can live in death. Yeah. On to the next. I mean, you were just talking about some of that, how we get our information, and that gets us right in the segue of propaganda. Mm-hmm. How you said it, you hit it right on the nail. How we get our information, how things go down, how we perceive things, based off of the internet. You know, one thing you can just put something on the internet, and I didn't even know this, but Wikipedia. You can literally
change it. Yeah.
Make your own Wikipedia. I can tell girls I am 5'10".
How tall are you?
5'3".
You can be famous as hell on Wikipedia. Like, baby, you better look me up. Write your own little autobiography and shit.
Yeah, and that's misleading, because now, guess what? Everybody, Google head ass niggas, that's what I call them, Google head ass niggas, because they go to Google and they say, oh, yeah? Go to Google, type it up, hit the first one. See? Because they know we don't do real research. Research is a process of taking the opposite view that you have and comparing it to the one that you do like. So then you go back and forth, like you said, figuring out who left something out. Okay, what makes sense? Okay, what is this person into? Are they funded by this company that might actually give them invested interest to lie. You know, it's a lot to do with research, and we don't do that nowadays.
That is true.
Propaganda is really killing the news.
Yeah, especially with COVID, it's so much misinformation when it comes to the voting. It was so much misinformation. Overall, it's easy to blame the media, and I do feel like they play a portion of it. But I feel like it's up to us as consumers, where we have to double check. You want to dot your I's and cross all your T's.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be making like anything public, like even if you don't have a lot of followers or anything and you're getting on the airwaves and you're spewing whatever your ideas, I think it should have some facts in behind it. I looked up the actual meaning of propaganda because I think that, honestly, I've been using it wrong, or I've been thinking about it the wrong way. But it's used usually for politics, but it can be good propaganda or bad propaganda. I've always thought of propaganda in a bad way. But what makes propaganda different from just a lie is that these people that have the money to do propaganda, that's what it is. They have the money, they own the airwaves, they own this idea, and they can get their idea out on a on a large scale. Yeah. And so it ends up being the truth, even if it's a lie, because, you know, if you do propaganda on CNN, okay, well, all of the left, you know, riding people is going to say, yeah, this is fact. This came off the news, because the news used to be right. It used to be truthful. It used to be unbiased. And to now they have invested interest. These politicians come in and they pay them to run these stories on their opponents or about them or whatever. And then it begins to be true because so many people are saying it. You know, if you're the only one in the group that's saying, no, I ain't got shit on my shoe, you know, then you begin to be the crazy one when everybody else is like, yeah, I smell it. You could not have shit on your shoe. But because everybody said it, it's true. Now the whole school is like, damn, Melik got shit on his shoe. He stink. That's how propaganda works.
Sadly, that is completely true. I remember I was back in LA and I was driving Uber at the time, and I had the pleasure of driving a very famous writer. He was a Pulitzer Prize winning writer. Taking him to the airport, and we were just talking about stories and just politics in general. And he was explaining how, even because before I was like, yeah, I trust CNN to an extent and so forth like that. And he was explaining how a lot of writers, reporters and so forth, how they write, where they can easily fuck up a story. Where in terms of where if you're saying the president said something, you need to make sure the president said something, not his assistant said something. And a lot of times, like, oh, we hear reported by or situations like that where you're not getting the actual words of the person. And I see that a lot when it comes to, like I said, the Fox, the CNN, and so many different news outlets. And that's why, like, I feel it's so important for our well-being as people. Like, regardless of if you're a Republican, you like Fox, and what's the other news network that they're falling in love with? I forgot what it's fucking called. But CNN and NBC and all that, look at different info from different places.
Yeah, but see, that's how strongly propaganda, like, fucks with your mind, is that
somewhere in there has to be the truth. Like, I just feel like we should be searching for the truth more. And I just feel like a lot of times we'll get something, and half the time, at least I know a lot of people, they just read the headline. Don't even read the story. Would quickly take words and phrases out of context. Like, I remember when they said Bill Gates, he started COVID. He's trying to get rid of African shit. He said it in his speech. No, the fuck he didn't.
Which one are you talking about? Because I listened to that whole TED Talk speech.
Where he was talking about Africa and depopulation and so forth. Like, a lot of people just listen to like those first sentences or the couple minutes, as opposed to looking at the whole video and not take things out of context.
Yeah, some of that stuff that he said in the TED Talk, if that's what you're referring to, can be taken out of content if you didn't watch it all. But it was kind of funny that the equation that he put up, which is C equals P times S times CO2 times something else. And he's like, well, we have to get the CO2 number down to close to 0. Well, space doesn't create CO2. People do. So it's like, if you're going to try to get that number down to 0, then you're going to have to get rid of the things that create CO2 or create whatever that chemical is that's fucking up the earth. And
That's
we make that. So
also, like machines and stuff. Like I'm one of those. I'm one of the ones where I do believe in pollution. I believe in climate control. Like, when you look at how the earth has changed, how we're losing ice and shit. Like how the fuck do we lose ice in the place where ice is fucking known? Like, that's not just happening just by chance.
Well, I'm not a scientist, but I do think we do have, play in that. But I think it's pollution. I think that we need to, take care of the place that we live. But that's neither here nor
She's like, fuck it. I'll be dead when this world ends. I don't give a fuck.
I didn't want to be harsh, but
But look at it this way.
But propaganda does warp your mind. That's why those people can listen to different outsources and they will not believe it. Why? Because it didn't come from their source. Why? Because propaganda is so strong. Like, I even felt myself during the presidency of Trump getting caught up in Trump shit, because he has good fucking politics. If you're thinking from a business minded perspective and not just I'm always gonna work a fucking job perspective, then yeah, them policies could have fucking helped you. And I really like the fact that he gave money to dying HBCUs. And, he was partying a lot of people and, whatever.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, I feel like he did that for another reason.
Yeah, but every politician does something for a different reason. No
politician but him
for people.
But him especially, like, I can get anybody else doing it, but that crooked motherfucker, I'm like, nigga, you want something.
But all,
like, you
all
just,
of them are crooked though. So
okay, but that motherfucker is especially more crooked.
How come he had to eat this first year in politics? First year in politics. All of the rest of them motherfuckers been crooked. They've been in the politics system for a long time. So if you hold him to that standard, you got to hold all the rest of them other presidents to the same standard.
But if
and
we
I would
being
even
honest,
be harsher with them because they've been in politics for a long time.
But has anybody ever done what he's done?
What has he done?
Okay. Well,
no, just give me an example.
All right,
I'm just
so
asking.
Let's just talk about what was found out today. How he had Barr in the DOJ pretty much spying on the Democrats. Name your president that did anything like that. Go.
Obama.
Spying on the Republicans? Because if that was true, by now you would have heard something.
You haven't heard Obamagate? Of Obamagate?
Obamagate? You mean Benghazi? No, I'm saying it wrong. Benghazi?
Hold up, I got you.
Yeah, look that up. Let's look at the stuff that Obama's been through compared to Trump. Let's not act like if Obama carried himself the way that Trump did, everything would be all cool.
Me personally, okay, I'm gonna look this up and then I'm gonna get back with you.
For sure.
That. Obama. But I think that's where we fuck up the most. I think everybody fuck up the most in politics because we're going at it with emotion. When it's supposed to be strictly business, like something for something. Every politician does something to get something. I think that we the only ones. I don't want to say black people because white people just did it with Trump. You know, it's still they are still on the side of the road talking about Trump won. So, you know, it can be like that. But I just feel like, and that's one of the propagandas that I want to talk about is that propaganda is so strong that even when somebody does something and it's true, then we will still turn our back on them and say, oh no, this and that, they racist, they this, they that. And him being racist is argumentative. I mean, yeah, he can be racist or whatever, but who's not racist there? Who's not racist?
You're saying he's not racist, but he can be racist.
No, I'm saying that it's argumentative. Like however you view it. If you look at that speech and whatever he said in that speech offends you, then he can. But if you look at it in its entirety, then you can specify that he's talking about a certain group of people.
What about? But he's always been like this.
And that's why, honestly, I'm not mad at it. Because if he's always been like this, why crucify him when he's the president? Y'all wasn't crucifying him when he was all in your fucking rap videos. Nobody in the 80s
thought he was going to win.
Nobody in the 80s were like fucking worried about Trump. They all wanted to be Trump. Honestly, they all wanted him in this rap video, wanted him to say something, I'm trumping on niggas, and then he got president.
But I feel like nobody was like, I don't think Trump was just like chilling with a bunch of black people. Like, all right, what up, my niggas? You know what I'm saying? This was shit that he was doing around where it wasn't no black people around. Like, and he was, matter of fact, how he treated his own guests at his hotel.
Go somewhere else.
These are the people that's paying you, and you like, oh, well, niggas go somewhere else.
No, I'm saying that why is it that when everybody in this whole politic realm is racist, but then
I'm not
we
ready
just
to agree with that.
one person. When everybody just got through voting for Joe Biden, he made the fucking crime bill and sent a lot of
Everybody
niggas to
voted
jail.
for that, though.
I didn't vote at all.
Everybody that was in Congress and Senate voted for that. You have to actually look at it to see what was in there. A lot of people voted. Hold on.
I got you. Go ahead.
A lot of people voted for that bill simply because they had the law that would be a help to women that was in abusive relationships. That's how a lot of times laws are made, where you may have a law that you completely disagree with, but attached to that law is something that may benefit your constituents. Let's just say, like,
okay, well, they weaponized it because they was targeting people that was selling crack, doing crack,
and being violent,
but they didn't focus it on all of everybody. They focused it primarily in black neighborhoods. That's how black and brown people got locked up the most.
Speaking as a person,
we just talked about that last week about the crack in the coke being the same thing, but they locking up black people.
But speaking as a person who's been to prison, I mean, if you break the law, I mean, what else is supposed to happen?
Yes, I totally agree.
Nobody
with you
has to go out there and sell weed, drugs, rob, or do none of that. You're making a decision to.
I definitely agree with you on that. But the problem becomes when the punishment for a certain group of people is not the same punishment for another group of people. And that's where the problem is.
All right.
It's not that people are going to jail. Please lock up violent people. But don't get it twisted. Mm-hmm. Johnny should get the same fucking time as
absolutely.
Zayden.
I'm with completely having time. Black, white, give them all the same time. But if you break the law, I really don't feel no ways about it, because I feel like you're making a decision to do that. I mean, everybody that lives in a single parent household where their parents may be addicts or foster homes and shit, everybody is not out motherfucking committing crimes.
Yes, like I said, I totally agree with that. But nobody's mad at the crime bill. We're mad that they weaponized the crime bill to crack down on predominantly black neighborhoods. Yes, because the same thing was happening in the suburbs. The only difference was we had crack and they had coke. Same thing. Just one has baking soda in it.
Hey, and I feel you. I understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you. But at the end of the day, like, I don't feel too bad about that bill because one, if you weren't breaking the law, you wouldn't have been going to jail. Two, that law helped save a lot of women's lives.
It did, but it ended a lot of black families. That's the problem. That's the problem that I'm trying to say, that they weaponized it. Yes, the bill was probably great for all of those sub things that was in there. Great, but it did lock up a lot of black men away from their families. And then, and like you said, I totally agree. If you're breaking the law, let me get some of your water real quick. If you're breaking the law, you're breaking the law. But they didn't use that law fairly for everyone because black and brown people wasn't the only ones selling crack.
I agree with that.
It was mob bosses. It was fucking Italian people out there. You think white people didn't have no empire selling crack too? Where did black people even get that shit from? We don't own no fucking planes. We don't own no fucking railroads. How did that amount of fucking drugs get in there? I mean, ask Rik Rok. He knows about the CIA helping him. So that's the problem, that we voted in, or whoever voted for Joe Biden voted in someone that did make probably worse damage than Trump did his whole 4 years.
I disagree, but I also want to say, like, even when they talk about Rik Rok, like, I don't believe that when the Contra situation was going down, like, I don't feel like their whole situation where it's okay, like, let's target black people specifically. I believe it's a situation where, like, okay, well, look, we need to sell, we need this money just so that way we can give to the people over there. However it gets done is however the fuck it get done. Like, I just don't feel like it was like, yeah, specifically go to black neighborhoods and make this shit fucking happen.
Yeah, you can say that. The proof is in the numbers. Numbers don't lie. And they were in black neighborhoods, rounding up. And even after that era had ended, they still had a really bad police problem. So it's like they did weaponize it. Nobody's mad at the bill. We mad at how the bill was used. That's why I don't be out here just jumping on trains about, like, bills for all these, like, problems and shit, because one, I be having to do research, and two, I be having to look, how is this gonna affect us in 5 to 10 years? Because that's where we all get, like, nobody knew when people was voting for that bill, nobody knew that shit was gonna tear up their fucking family in their neighborhood, and how the cops in here 24/7 abusing them and not helping them. You know, that's all I really just have to say about it. Propaganda is strong. It takes away from how people view people. And Trump, and I feel like that vaccine shit was the biggest propaganda, like, event besides the Holocaust.
So how do you feel about people who got the vaccine?
Mm-hmm.
I think that they should do what they want. I just think that they shouldn't shame people that's not going to get it, because I'm not going to get it.
So, but when you say, when you say propaganda, when it comes in terms of the vaccine, could you explain what do you not believe in the COVID, or
no? I believe it's a thing. I think that it was lied, like the lies about it, the risk of it. You know, the risk of how dangerous it was.
You don't feel it was dangerous?
No, I don't.
So what would you say to the families who lost family members?
I would say the same things that I would tell to the family of flu, pneumonia.
Yeah, but there was a lot more people that died.
But you're saying that it's not real.
No, I'm not saying that it's not real.
Okay.
I said that it's not as risky as the CDC and Dr. Fauci, which his emails got leaked, and he has been saying that the masks don't work. He actually went on in public on the news and said, I did lie about the masks. I just said that so that everybody wouldn't panic and buy masks from the hospital teams. And his emails is leaked, and it's a bunch of other things that he's been lying about, the origins
Now,
of where
are
it
we
came
saying
from.
lying? I mean, because I think that because this has been going on for well over a year.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's a difference between you getting information about it in January, you're getting more information about it come April, you're getting more information about it come December. Like, if it happens like that, I don't think it's lying. It's you're basing your answers once you get more information.
I think that well, first of all, he's been funding this program that's a subgroup under the Wuhan lab, which is called Gang of Functions, which is a subgroup of A.W.H.C or some shit like that. Well, Fauci funded this, and they let him know ahead of time that, hey, this kind of looks like manipulation, like it was kind of made in a lab. And he went on air or on the news, told everybody shut down the rumor, because remember a long time ago about the rumor about it seeped from the Wuhan lab, and then he shut it down and said, no, this came from a wet market. Well, right after that, then Kristen, who is that lady? Kristen D. Anderson sent him over an email telling him that, hey, this looks like manipulation. It looks like it came out of a lab. And even then, he didn't go to the public and tell them that information. I don't think that he's lying, but I think he's just been going with the flow. And then whenever he gets new information, oh, now I tell you, instead of when he first gets it, he waits until it's 3-4 months down the line and then tell us. It's like, no, you got to keep us informed when you get informed, because we're all going based off of what you're saying. You're the doctor, but it seems like you don't know what the hell really going on. The moment that I stopped listening about COVID shit was when they was like, you can go to the restaurant with a mask on, and then when you sit down, you could take the mask off to eat. But then when you go to the bathroom, you got to put the mask on. You don't even gotta be a scientist to know that shit don't even make sense. Okay. You gotta know.
Well, I think that one, you have to follow everybody's guidelines and rules in each place that you're at. You got to keep in mind that in each state, each city, each county is run completely different. Two.
Yeah, but that was the rule before we even got a chance to have like the masks even listed. You know, that was the rule for everywhere.
I don't even think no, because before I moved out and moved out here, it was mandated. It damn sure wasn't mandated in L.A.
Yeah, people just didn't follow the rules, but it was mandated that wear your mask inside, stay 6 foot. The moment like that's
motherfuckers weren't doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, like, yeah, great. You know, you wasn't doing it, but it was a mandate. Even me and Heather even had like a back and forth about mandate shit. I was like, nah, that ain't mandated. Yes, it is. Show me it. Yeah, it's mandated. We just ain't been following it. But that was the moment that I stopped worrying about this shit. And plus, I was an essential worker. I was out every day. And I mean, yeah, I'm blessed that I didn't get it. And I'm not saying that it's not real. I just think that the risk of it was hyped the fuck up.
For you.
Okay, the shit is hyped up, yeah. Maybe not for me, but for old people, yeah. But it's like,
old people with health conditions and everything like that.
Yeah, but we just can't shut down the whole fucking world because less than 1% of the world died, bro. That's crazy. That's that's like you're a cookie factory and you fucking make thousands of cookies every day and one of the cookies don't have chips in it and you just shut the whole production down. You can't. I
have a better analogy. It's kind of like having a bag of oranges or a bag of fruit. Now you got one that's rotten in there. Now if you don't take that rotten one out, what happens?
The rest of them do get fucked up.
And I feel like the situation is kind of like that. Where, like, during the marches and stuff like that, like, that's where I feel like a lot of the deaths and the COVID cases went up. Like, there was never a time that I can recall when this first started where people around was, okay, let me take this serious. Like everybody was just out, just chilling. Like I ain't gonna lie, shit. I went out to the bar and everything. Like of course.
I was partying.
Like it meant nothing, and I was fortunate enough that I didn't catch anything. Thank God I'm fairly fucking healthy, but there were times where I had to think about people that I knew or that I was going home with.
I think those people should take precautions for themselves and not punish everybody else.
What do you mean?
I think that if you're old and you have the criteria of being easily to catch this, okay, well, stay your ass in the house. Well, get your immune system right. You lose weight. You can't force everybody else to stay down in the house, stop going to their job because it's some people out here that might catch something. Like, no, you have to take care of yourself. You can't punish everybody else because you had poor choices in life. Yeah, like, nah.
What if they were just born that way? What do you mean poor choices in life?
Yeah, you could have been born with that, but if you see that criteria, it's people that's overweight. It's people that's over 60.
I'm overweight.
It's people that
And
have.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah, well, congratulations. That means that what was this? What was this?
According to the fashion industry, or this
BMI shit.
The BMI, I'm overweight, but I didn't catch it.
And guess what? That just proved my point. This shit wasn't as serious as we thought it was.
A ton of fucking alcohol, and that weakens your immune system, and
Same.
I didn't catch it.
I'm proud of you. Shit, because we was all supposed to do that. We was all supposed to keep moving on with our lives, and they were supposed to do what they supposed to do to get themselves back right. I'm sorry if I vape, but I'm not telling them to shut down the fucking vape centers and shit. I made the choice to vape, so I need to either stop vaping or I can keep vaping and be on a fucking breathing machine in 3, 4, 5, 10 years or whatever. I don't know, but you can't punish everybody for less than 1% of people in the world dying. Like that doesn't make sense. That's crazy.
Well, I just feel like it's better to be safe than sorry. Just like when it comes to religion, like I would much rather live my life like there is a God and find out there ain't no God than to live my life like it ain't no God and get up there and like, oh Lord, there's a God. Like I'd much rather go get my my 2 shots.
Yeah, but it's the freedom of it. It's the freedom is what people. We're not. Me personally, I'm not arguing whether or not it was real or whether or not it was risky. Well, I kind of am. I don't think that it's risky. But if you do say it is, hey, it might be to you. If you're a 60-year-old person that's overweight and you have heart problems, yes, this is very risky for you. But as me, I'm not. So I'm not fazed by it. But you can't just say that I need to wear a mask and I need to go get the vaccine and I need to stay in the house because the 60-year-old man that's overweight and have health problems from smoking might catch this disease. Like, no, that doesn't make sense. You make your own decisions. And if you are born with it, that sucks. And that sucks that the whole world is shut down or for now shut down for you. But no, I'm not junking that. We all as Americans deserve freedom to do what we want. Now, if it was risky and you went outside without no mask and you dead, oh well, they told you. They told you it was a disease out here killing motherfuckers and you didn't listen. All right, that's on you. But if you go outside and you catch it and you're like Rik Rok and was turning up every weekend of COVID.
I was not turning up every weekend. I
guess what?
Was working from home and stuck in a house with an 8-year-old and a 13-year-old who fought all day long.
Damn. Yes. Well, he is getting like investigated and all of this stuff is going on. He's been to like Congress and stuff and they're investigating him. So my question is, if it's true, because this is all just pieces of emails. So it's not, like you said, it's not that he's lying. We don't even have the whole full story, but it is parts in there where he's talking to fellow scientists about the origins of where this came from and do you know where this came from and stuff like that? And my thing is, yeah, he's doing all of this allegedly. But if it is true, and he did lie about the origins of this this disease, should he be going to fucking jail?
Yeah, he should be going to jail, but I really don't feel like.
Is he going to jail?
Oh, we all know he ain't going to jail. Nah. We all know that shit.
I don't think he's lying though.
You don't think he's lying?
No, because I was reading something not long ago where
Look up that lady, Judy Mekovich.
where they was talking about diseases and how scientists actually mess with diseases to get different variants and to figure out how to get vaccines and so forth like that. So if that turns out to be the case, I wouldn't be surprised. It's something, as far as I know, that scientists do often when it comes to learning about new diseases and so forth like that. Now, if it's like, yeah, like I knew, you know what I'm saying, or scientists over there told me, like, yeah, we specifically went and mutated this with some animal DNA, and now it's this.
Yeah, but what you saying is true. That's basically what they was doing at the Wuhan lab. Well, not Wuhan lab, but the subgroup of gang of functions. They was spiking these diseases, which I think it was the SARS, and they were spiking it with spike proteins, making it like.
But even SARS is COVID. Like COVID isn't new. It's just a pretty much
mutation.
Yeah, a mutation. So it's like it's nothing new. I don't feel like it's just something else that has mutated. Like just like I look at like so many diseases that we have today, even diseases that we don't know about. Like I'm pretty sure there are diseases that they probably had hundreds of years ago that just mutated through time. I don't really feel like there's too many things out there that's just new. We just have more better understanding of what it is.
Yeah, his ass needs to go to jail. I do think that he lying. I don't give a fuck. Ever since that mask thing, I just been looking at him real iffy. And you brought up a good point in the group about the lady that you're talking about is Judy Mekovich, and she worked with him alongside of him while they were studying AIDS.
Yes.
Yep. And I looked at one of her interviews. Actually, she interviewed with this guy named Young Pharaoh, very knowledgeable brother. I really love him. He got kicked off YouTube because he was speaking way too much motherfucking truth.
Nah, I wouldn't say that's truth, man.
He was, but
that boy got shit.
Yeah, some of the shit that he say is like it kind of like that black power shit where it be like the ground is black. That's why I call it a black top type of shit. He do kind of get in there real.
Oh man!
But he do have his receipts, and he did interview her. And one of the things that she was saying was that they used to work alongside each other studying AIDS, and then something happened. Something happened. Like she ended up either finding out something about it that would like change it, like
or cure people.
Cure it. I'm not sure. I would have to go back, but yeah, I looked up enough to know that the lady you was talking about was Judy Mekovich, and he shut the system down, real like strange, like she's like we getting to it, bro, and he's like, nah, shut it down. And it's been a rumor about AIDS being man-made. Just like this shit.
Was this after they blamed black people, the Africans, for sleeping with monkeys, which we don't have to do?
Nah, I've never heard sleeping. I've heard like eating monkeys, which something that they still do now.
I said that African men
sleeping with monkeys. No, I never heard that.
Men were having sex with monkeys, and that is how AIDS originated. Let me explain something to you. With me being African, there is no reason in the world why our people would have to sleep with a monkey.
Yeah, I would never bet on betting on
all of those gorgeous
sleeping with a monkey. Now eating
beautiful
bush meat
men and those beautiful African women, and out there's listen, we are too beautiful and too sensual and too passionate to have to go fuck a monkey.
Playing devil's advocate, let's not act like we don't have motherfuckers out there fucking animals now. Not saying they did it in this sense. Like I said, I completely believe eating bush meat. Plenty of cultures do it.
Yeah, but that was real funny about that because it's a sexually transmitted disease.
But here's the thing: they always try to revert back to it's black people because at some point in the news they were trying to say that the deadliest strain of COVID is coming from South Africa. Fuck you. You know, like they always try to take it back to the fact that it originates from Africa. No, life itself originates from Africa, but all this other bullshit comes out of a pot that Fauci and Trump and Biden and all these other motherfuckers come up with. And I'm sorry, Mom, I did tell you I would not cuss.
Yeah, but that's the only reason why. Because of Judy Mekovich. She working alongside of him. Boom, shut the whole damn project down. And that shit, man-made. Now rumors about this shit. Oh, this shit made in a lab. Look at the connection. Fauci was in both motherfucking experiences.
I just feel like this. The reason why I be so like, I don't believe that shit is because like, if you have all this information, why you ain't came out?
They had a gag order on her for 10 fucking years. You can't break that gag order. You go to prison.
Yes, you can. Okay,
you can, but she had
wait. So you telling me like you could potentially know that AIDS is fucking man-made? You're a scientist. You went to school for this. You spent years. You have some information that can open up the minds of millions of people around the world. But you ain't gonna say nothing because you scared to go to prison?
No, she went to prison.
It's not necessarily about prison, but on the government side, look how much money they've made off of AIDS research. What the fuck would have happened if they would have released the cure for it, and then you could go to Walmart and get AIDS medicine the generic for $3?
I just feel like,
as opposed to having the Met Gala and all this other shit that surrounds AIDS research, or letting people die because you want to contribute to your pocket when you could have cured this shit. 1 million plus people could have lived, and then you could have gotten a fucking prescription for $3 from Walmart. And let's look at it financially.
I look at it as, if you're a person on the inside and you know this, and you have you ain't gonna tell nothing, why you open your mouth? Because now I feel like you full of shit. You literally have the truth in your hand. AIDS is man-made. I'm a black woman, went to school. I found it. These no good motherfuckers ain't shit. I found it right here. It's right here. But I ain't gonna tell y'all.
Guess you're gonna end up like Dr. Sebi.
Yeah.
Dr. Sebi was not killed.
He was.
He died.
Fuck it.
No. That dude was
so
that dude was so healthy, bro. He was as
oh
strong
my
as
God.
I'm
just
ready
like
to go.
Everybody points to the whole Supreme Court case. If you actually looked at that case, actually read it, you would know the only reason he won that case, because technically, as a practicing doctor, you have to give pharmaceuticals. You have to use real drugs. He was never doing that. That's the only reason he won that case. The only reason. Look it up. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do.
The only reason why he was even in court is for the reason that you said, is that he was basically like impersonating a doctor, because he wasn't using pharmaceutical.
He was using natural stuff.
And he wasn't like, and that fell under the FDA. I think that they killed him, just like you said, because of the fucking pharmaceutical company.
Pharma
is a gang,
the
bro.
Biggest dope dealer in the fucking world.
Yes, they're a gang, bro. You don't. I know that you're the devil advocate, but see it from the angel side for a minute, because you cannot say that. No. Hell, you cannot say that the pharmaceutical company do not suppress real cures. Like for high blood pressure, you can literally stop eating meat, for like red meat, for
dairy,
like
meat,
and it will cure it.
Cheese.
It will cure it. But they tell you to go to the doctor and get fucking water pills.
Do you know on the the American Cancer Association website, they actually tell you to eat food that's going to make you sick?
There is no proof that Dr. Sebi cured anyone.
Well, he did have like records of them coming to him. I mean, going to the doctor first, and then going to him and eating right and exercising and doing whatever, and then going back to the doctor that they originally went to, and nothing was found.
I am all for
they do have those
a person
records.
Eating healthier. I'm all for that. But saying, oh yeah, I can cure cancer and AIDS. So what we're saying is AIDS is man-made, but this gentleman of man-made, he just found the cure to AIDS, right?
He didn't find the cure. The cure is just eating
healthy. The cure
healthy.
is already on this earth.
Yeah, it's just eating healthy.
God, Yahweh, the universe has given us every single thing on this earth that we need to be cured and survive. So if he just happened to find the shit that cured the shit, and then you have the biggest drug dealers on the face of the earth making sure that the cure does not get discovered.
Okay, so how come? Well, explain Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson was paid.
Oh, he was.
Okay, first of all,
I think it's
all these diseases. No, because I think that this is good here. First of all of these diseases usually has like sugar. Sugar feeds all these diseases. Sugar feeds cancer. Sugar feeds, high blood pressure, shit like that. The moment and
sugar feeds the sugars.
Yeah, and guess what? Everything in this whole world that we ever got has sugar in it. So that's why most of this shit gives you cancer.
I'm just completely against people listening to a individual who has no medical training and people taking it as like fact. Like, I can pull up several cases where people have died just listening to holistic people.
There are many cases where people have died under the direction of doctors.
Yeah.
Shit, there's if you look at the ratio, it's probably 500 to 1 of people who have died under a doctor's care.
So you would much rather trust a person who hasn't went to no medical knowledge, no school. No, I just need you to answer that.
If they're coming from the earth, I'm going to at least try it.
Okay.
Because what I do understand about pharma is it gets you hooked. My ex-husband has been on high blood pressure pills. We were married for 10 years. We've been divorced for 4 years. That brother's still on high blood pressure pills. And the doctors are telling him even at a very young age he's going to have to be on that for the rest of his life. When maybe if he modifies his diet, there are there's bladder-rack. There are roots out there that can help his high blood pressure, but the doctor's saying, don't trust that shit because it could probably get rid of it within 90 days, but stay on this high blood pressure medicine for the rest of your life. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's like they're not finding cures for anything. They're just suppressing the symptoms.
They are your mom. What's this? I'm your mama. I'm your daddy. I'm your nigga in the attic. I'm your pusher.
Yeah, and then don't forget.
That is what pharma is.
And don't forget that the doctors that give the medication out, they're incentivized because they get a little cut. So the doctor, they're in bed together. The doctor is like the peon niggas on the street. And then the pharmaceutical company is like the big man. That's the nigga that the cops want. That's the mob boss. That's the nigga that you don't see.
My stance is, like I said, I'm all for having healthy living, but at the same time, I mean, there are times in your life where you need to see a real medical doctor.
You do. We're not arguing that.
I'm not.
We're saying that not everything needs hospital medication.
I think we need to agree that there's a sometimes on each side. Like when I had my surgery, there's no fucking way somebody could have walked up to me and said, take this plant so you won't feel no pain. Now, fuck that. This anesthesiologist is standing behind me. And by the time I count from 10 to 7, I'm going to be out. So I would say that, like I said last week, there's a middle ground.
Healthy, equal balance.
I think you can go on either side. Now, when I was healing from my surgery, if someone said, hey, this plant is good for you, this diet is good for you, as opposed to a doctor saying, I'm going to give you another pill, then I would have taken the plants. So,
and the plants ain't got no side effects. The medicine do. It is always some wild, crazy shit where it'd be you're losing hair, but you could take this pill. Might cause liver damage. Might cause your eyes to cross.
Give you hair on your chin.
Hey, I feel you. I just want people to be smart. Like I said, I'm for healthy living, but don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Because like Steve Jobs, like a lot of motherfuckers don't know, he had motherfucking cancer, was dying. He gonna go, I'm gonna go the holistic route. Fuck these pharmaceuticals and these doctors.
He probably was way too far along.
Yeah, and he was like, and when it was like, oh, this shit ain't working, then he tried to go the pharmaceutical route. Nah, baby, you up out of here. So I'm just saying, be smart. Don't swear off doctors and pharmaceuticals. There are some situations in your life where healthy eating, taking exercising will take care of everything. But there are some situations in your life where you need to get your ass up and go to the fucking doctor.
Yes,
that's
going
all.
To the gym is not going to get rid of liver cancer.
What?
No.
Damn.
No, what I'm saying is that if you're feeling these symptoms and you're throwing up blood, you can't be like, well, let me just go to the gym and eat some watermelon and feel better. I get that. I will agree with you on that.
Get me a green shake. Let me go ahead and shake this can side, baby. I'll be good.
I do think, we have seen cases where they don't do anything at all. They don't do nothing at all. And then it just, what is that shit? Benign cancer where it's not like harmful. Shit.
Oh, I
just need to
thought
stop.
you were naming a supplement.
Yeah.
I was like, B9.
Yeah, I
Did
just
you
need
get
to
that from
stop
Amazon?
saying words. I just stop saying words.
Hey, Jerko has to go.
Yeah. Are we already at an hour? Time
We're
flies.
an hour and a half.
Damn, time flies when Melik is saying some crazy wild takes.
I'm always gonna have some crazy shit to say because this world is fucking crazy. And I honestly believe aliens be like, I ain't fucking with them niggas.
Yeah.
They just fly right by.
Yeah, people. Yeah. We're like ants to them. Man, that's a whole nother conversation. Let's get up out of here, bro.
Bye.
Bye, niggas.
Bye.
Oh.
Oh, this is the closing.
Oh,
Yeah.
it has been an hour with Crowder. Do you know that if you want to have your own podcast, you can do that on Anchor? Was I supposed to say that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're fun. I mean, no, we're not funded
We
by
go
it.
by listenership. Some people have big ships. What did you say?
Oh, some people have big ships, some people have little ships. But we got listenership.
We have listenership. So I want you to click, subscribe, comment, subscribe, and share.
Yep, Apple, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, and
All
Anchor.
of it.
All
And
of
Anchor.
it. And follow all of us on our social medias, which will be in the description. Timestamps are back. Go ahead and click your favorite parts of our podcast also
Yep.
and share them. And we're out.
We
Bye.
out. Bye.